Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. This morning I'm off to see an E90 M3. Now you see loads of E92 coupe versions of the M3, but this is quite a rare car. It's an E90, so it's a saloon version. It's based down south. I'm a little bit up north in Birmingham, so I've got a 2-hour kind of journey ahead of me. I'm in my M140i, so it's going to be quite a fun journey down. So hopefully I'll see you in a few minutes. There's the M3 that's right behind me, that have come all the way from Birmingham to near Essex, London, just outside London, to come and have a look at this car. The car, I've just been out in it. The car is a minter. You know, it's one of the cleanest examples of the E90 cars that I've seen, the E90 M3 cars that I've actually seen for a very long time. I actually drove one of these when it first came out back in 2007, and I must say that car, even though it's an 08 plate, it certainly doesn't feel like a 10-year-old car. And you know, trust me on that, the car is so clean. Let's go and have a look at that. So guys, that's enough of the exterior shots. I've got the keys now and we're going to start this baby up. What this car gives you on startup is a real sense of occasion that you don't get with any M-like cars. I mean, my M140 certainly doesn't sound like this on the startup. It sounds more throaty, but this sounds much more cleaner. And you know straight away that you're sitting in an M3 because you got these wonderful dials. That you got the rev counter that goes all the way to, like, say 8,600. Just amazing. And this one's got the MCT gearbox as well, so you got these nice aluminium looking upshift and downshift paddles, which I'm sure we're going to be using. So come on guys, let's go and get this car on the road. So guys, you know, like most modern cars these days, you know, like the steering for example, they're all kind of electronic. You don't really get like a proper kind of a feel out of them. This car still got the hydraulics kind of system for its steering, and the feedback on this, you can tell exactly what the sort of front tires are doing, and that's something that you don't really get now in like modern cars. I mean, it's not completely crazy or aggressive. I mean, you know, you can still, it's still comfortable, but it's just nice to know that you actually can feel the actual wheels where they've been pointed, and listen to this for downshifts, and that bark every time you kind of like click down on this downshift pedal, gives it a nice little bark. Again, that's something that you just don't get with the M Light cars. And bear in mind, this is an M3 from 10 years ago. Oh, it just sounds amazing. So addictive. So guys, you can probably tell that I'm actually quite excited being behind the wheel of this M3. It's a car that you can actually drive as a daily, as long as you can keep up with, like, say, the fuel bills. When you're driving this car at, say, 12 to 1500 revs, the car's very sedated, you know, in traffic. But when you start pushing on a bit, the car just rewards you. It's a car that you got to learn to kind of drive as well. You can't just get in and say, right, I'm gonna just floor it. You know, you got to learn the car, because it can get quite skittish. It's a bit like, you'll drive the car and you'll be like, oh yeah, it's fine, and then all of a sudden the back end will go, and that's it. You know, you've kind of just ruined it. So it's a car that you got to respect, and in return the car literally just rewards you. I've been driving this car now for probably about 15 minutes. I wouldn't say I've learned the car, but it's come a long way from the first time when I sat in the car. At the moment I'm just cruising in just normal mode. You've got obviously the M button on there, which brings the car into MDM mode, or the M dynamic mode. The owner has obviously set the car up for me as a novice driver, with some sort of driving aids switched off and some of them are still on. So when the road gets a bit clearer, we'll test those out. So something about this engine, you know, it's a V8 4 litre 420 horsepower. It's codenamed the S65 from BMW. You know how I'm so geeky about the names, the B47, the B58, the S65. So yeah, this is the S65. This engine is going to be up there in the history books. You know, you're not going to see ever again another V8 naturally aspirated in an M car. Well, in an M3 anyway, because they're all gone down to, like, say, 6 pots and turbocharging. It's EU, they've just ruined, like, the whole kind of, I don't know, manufacturers not able to make cars like the way they used to. I mean, this car's got hydraulic steering, like I said before, and it just feels really sort of, you know, planted to the road, and you get a really nice sort of feel. Right, time to put the car into MDM mode. So you've got this nice little button here on the steering wheel called M, and straight away it sharpens pretty much the throttle response. It goes into manual mode. Whoa, that was a prod of the throttle and the car literally just kicked me in the back. It's so responsive. I mean, it's mad. Listen to that. So, you know, guys, with like modern cars like my M140i and the Focus RS and all the other kind of hot hatches, and even to a certain extent like some M cars now, they have a lot of these kind of exhaust actuators where they make all these kind of pops, bangs and crackles, which sounds great. But what you get in this is a clean flow of exit, and it sounds more metallic, it sounds more raw, and it goes with this car's nature really well. That bark on the downshifts, man, it's so addictive. So the owner was telling me that he's had this car for about 2 or 3 months, and he uses it as like a weekend car. Now the condition of this car is really, like, well, you know, for the age of the car. It's had a bottom end engine rebuild, because that's something that after, like, say 50,000-60,000 miles, and if the cars are being driven quite hard, the kind of piston rods just end up cracking, like, the bottom end of the block. So this has been rebuilt from, like, the bottom end, which kind of means that this car's got, well, I wouldn't say it's got more power, but it just feels like it's more solid compared to, like, say, some other cars out there. And you can certainly tell when you're pushing on a bit, it just feels solid. And that bottom engine rebuild, what that basically means is it's got more life left in the car. I mean, this car's got about 77,000 miles. Now, if you think about it, for a 10-year-old car, that's hardly anything. You know, this is probably just about being run in now. track of a V8. It's gripping these corners brilliantly. These brakes are really good, man. They give you a lot of confidence in those corners, especially when you've got 420 odd brake horsepower under the bonnet. Big shout out to the owner of this car, man. I mean, he's made my day. You know, even though I've travelled about 150 miles or whatever it might have been just to get down here, you know, being part of that nostalgic era, V8 power, M3, you can just tell I'm smiling, and that means a lot. These cars are a future classic, if not already. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have enjoyed driving the M3. That car is such a beast. It makes my M140i literally put it into perspective, an M-Light car. The M3 with a V8 naturally aspirated soundtrack, you know, you can't beat it. If you've not driven one of those cars, I'll suggest that you try and drive one of those if you can get your hands on one. Anyway guys, hopefully I'll see you guys on my next video. Take care. Bye.